Hey guys, it's Zell. I hope you're doing well. Today, I want to talk about Olivia Rodrigo's new album, You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love. Yes, let's chat about it. The album came out June 12th, 2026. I know, I'm a little late, but I really wanted to listen to the songs, have some time with them, and then come back so that I can fully give you guys my opinions and thoughts. There are 13 songs on the album. The album cover is her in a swing in a pink dress. And the album seems to be going for a very, I want to say whimsical kind of vibe, to be honest. It's giving a lot of pastels, it's giving a lot of movement. Hey, hello, editing Giselle popping in to say the word you're looking for is flowy, Giselle. It's flowy! I feel like it's so... It's a very good, very good aesthetic, and I like it. I would say it's giving a little bit of dreamy vibes too, like even just the album cover itself, it's an album cover I could really feel, like her in the swing, you see her just upside down with the wind in her hair and her legs up in the air kind of, and like you just see the fluidity, I guess, and I feel like I really like that about the album cover. I think it's good. So, on to the tracks. There are 13, so let's get started. The first song on the album is Drop Dead, which is the lead single that came out for this album. And I want to say I do really like it. It's giving very wanna just run around and sing and have this song in my headphones. The song discusses being very into a guy, not wanting her time to end, him feeling like heaven, feeling like something that if she just kisses him, she's gonna drop dead, which is kind of the hook for the song. I love the fast-paced verses. I think it adds a lot of energy to the song, but also a lot of making me want to run up and down a field of grass. She talks about how this boy is so pretty, so amazing, that sometimes she feels sick being around him, thinking that she's gonna throw up, which I think mostly it's trying to relate to, having butterflies in your stomach, maybe being so excited to be around this person that you can't eat, drink, or really want to do anything besides just be with them and be in their presence. Let me know if you guys have ever felt that feeling before. When I first felt it, I was like, what is going on with me? But like feeling that with someone, I think, is a very specific kind of feeling, and I think she talks about it and discusses it and really depicts it very well in this song. And I also feel like throughout the album there's a theme of kind of going from being so indulged with this person. So I think at the beginning of the album she's trying to depict how much she loves this person and how in love she really is. But throughout the album we see a change, and we will get to that. The next song is, of course, Stupid Song. And the song, of course, discusses how she loves this person so much that she loves him more than any stupid song could ever say. I adore this song. One, the title is so cute. It reminds me a lot of Toni Braxton's Another Sad Love Song. Not really the song itself, but the title kind of being a backwards of what it's actually about, or just the theming of the song. I don't know why it kind of came in my head like that, but the two names of the songs really remind me of each other, and I feel we're kind of like a little reminiscent of each other, and I like that. In the song she discusses how she does things or thinks of things in certain scenarios, and talks about how this type of love that she feels makes her feel free. She talks about how too shy she is to talk about how much she loves this person. A lot of visuals and a lot of scenes that she depicts in the song I can really relate to. She discusses walking past a lot of college guys and girls, a lot of them drunk, talks about being at parties, thinking that the girls at the parties are so cool and then how that could never be her. Discusses how she's sleeping in her dress and high heels, which I think almost every girl can relate to, sleeping in their dress once or twice or more in their lives. And I feel like she does it in a very beautiful way. I think the way she depicts certain things, and the song, the build up and lead up to every single chorus, I think she does very well. It kind of is like a slow burn into the chorus, and then it ramps up at the end, which I really love. She talks about, you know, maybe her feeling like she's going crazy, she's going mad, thinking that maybe she loves him a little too much, thinking about the spark between them, and talking about how she wishes that the person would know how she feels when she hears another person say their name, which I can relate to. When you hear somebody say your partner or somebody in your life's name that you really love, you know, you get like a little, like, you get a little sparkle in your eye, I'm not gonna lie. And it is a very good feeling for her to talk about and discuss. I really do like this song. I love the pacing a lot. When she talks in the chorus, and it's kind of very fast, but everything else, the stanzas and the verses and the bridges, everything leads up to the chorus, which I really like. Because especially in the chorus, the line, "I'm a car speeding down the boulevard without a brake," I really love that line right there really pulls the song together, I feel, because you feel like you're in a car, like going very fast. I feel like, at least for me, in this song, I feel like I'm going very fast. I feel like she's kind of just like spewing these words, kind of having this word vomit, wanting to talk about how much this guy means to her, but also she wants to talk about, you know, like, everything I'm feeling. It's more than any stupid song could ever say. And I think that's very beautiful, and I really like this song actually a lot, now that I've been able to sit with it and really listen to the words and sing the lyrics. I think it's very good, so it's definitely high up there for me. The next song is Honeybee. I love this song. I see a theme starting where she talks about how she can't really, or struggles to describe how she's feeling, but ironically, I think she does it very well. The lyrics in the song are very good. I'm a very visual person, so if I close my eyes, I can perfectly picture and perfectly feel the emotions that she's trying to convey across the lyrics and the words that she uses exactly. I think she's very smart about what she says. Also, I'm sorry, I have like the lyrics posted up right here just so that I can take it directly from the Spotify, and so that I can discuss lyrics and talk about them and bring them up. I love the line and the cliches I knew seemed so commonplace when I saw you, because, you know, we all know about cliches when it comes to love and love stories, and sometimes we think that maybe things are unachievable or moments are just not what reality is. But I think when you find the right person, and when you are with that person, I think sometimes you can really have those moments, and that they kind of just come out of thin air, and it makes you feel like you are living a cliche, but it's not necessarily cringy or bad. It's just things that happen naturally. The song, of course, describes her honeybee, her baby boy. A lot of pet name usage, but I like it because it seems very reminiscent of Beautiful Boy. That song, I think, is also very good. She talks about not wanting to see this person's face go. Another line that I really like is, "Man, it feels like God threw me a bone." In life, you know, I feel like everybody can relate to, you know, going through things, feeling like they just can't catch a break. And maybe people that find love feel like, you know, oh my God, like God gave me you, like, or a higher power, like somebody brought you to me, and I'm so happy that I got you. But man, sometimes, yeah, it feels like, man, like, just here, have him or have her, have them, like, and sometimes things just fall into your lap, kind of like that. And I think I really love that line. I think it's kind of funny. I know I say I love things a lot in these videos, but I really admire and adore the choir that kind of comes for the last part of the last chorus that happens, because it just brings it all together. It gives me chills when I hear it. It's so wonderfully placed and so wonderfully mixed. And I also love that she ends the song with "Here's to hoping," leaves it open-ended, which I think is a beautiful way to end that song. So this one is definitely up there for me in this album. I'll give my final rankings of every song at the end, so stay tuned for that. Next song is, of course, Maggots for Brains. I'm seeing a pattern. I know. Give me a second. I love this song. It talks and discusses how a person may feel when they're not around their favorite person in the world. Feeling kind of hollow, feeling empty, feeling gross, feeling just a shell of yourself. Let me know if you guys have ever felt that feeling in the comments. I know I certainly have. I love a lot of the lyrics in this song. I will go over them in a minute, but I feel like a lot of times, especially with social media, people may feel like, like, oh, like, you shouldn't be so codependent on your person, like, you guys should be, and don't get me wrong, it's very, very healthy to have distance, it's very, very healthy to have friends, it's very healthy to do things by yourself, but sometimes you just want to be with your favorite person, and should that be such a crime? Like, you should be able to be around your person constantly, because if you love that person truly, I feel like you can't have enough time with them, like, you may want, some space sometimes, which I understand, and I know I've felt that feeling before, but at the end of the day, I feel like wanting them always by you and feeling empty and hollow when they're not near you, especially if you're maybe in a long distance relationship. I know that those can be very difficult, feeling unmotivated, feeling like you just want that person to be with you, and doing things just to do things kind of without really enjoying anything because that person's not with you to enjoy them with you. Is a feeling that I feel like a lot of people can relate to, and I think she does a very, very, very good job at solidifying those feelings and those thoughts in this song. Some lyrics go as: empty, look at me, I'm a zombie in my body, I'm a train off of a track, I feel dirty, I feel rotten, and the colors are all flat. I love this chorus because she's just talking, I think, very, very bluntly about how she feels on the inside when she's not around this person, and how not being around this person makes her feel, and how necessarily she may not actually be dirty, she may not actually be rotten, but you feel like you're withering away, maybe without seeing this person or having this person near you, maybe kind of like going through withdrawals in a way, if you want to frame it like that. Of course, one of the main lines in the song, I'm a sad shell of a woman and I've got maggots for brains. I feel like a lot of girlies that deal with their mental health and struggle with things at sometimes can feel like a shell of themselves and feel as if maybe they rely too much on their partner to be there for them and rely on them. And I feel like it's a feeling that some, and not even just girls, I feel like anybody can relate to, maybe feeling a little too codependent on their partner, feeling like I should be able to get through this alone, I shouldn't have to need someone there constantly, or have the feeling of maybe I'm too much, maybe I'm a burden. And I feel like that line this line kind of solidifies that. Like, you're a sad shell of yourself and I've got maggots for brains, like I can't even think for myself, like when you're not around, or certain things like that. So let me know if you guys kind of feel that or have ever felt that in the past in the comments. I know that sometimes being a partner in a relationship, being with someone and having, dealing with your own mental health struggles can be hard, especially when you don't want to feel like a burden to your person. And of course, the line, but that's just the thing that happens when my baby goes away. I think that's a beautiful way to put it. Another line also that I really like is, and everything that's funny, I wish I could tell him. Because maybe, you hear a certain song and you wish a person was near you. Maybe you hear a funny joke and you know that person would laugh at it if they were with you. Or I I know maybe if you guys are little chismosas or you're sitting with your partner and you hear drama happening right next to you, you'd look at them and be like, oh, let's like listen in, kind of. You know, there's just little moments throughout your day that you really wish you could share with that person. This line hit very hard. And sometimes at a low point, I even wish for a tragedy because I know he'd come over and take real good care of me. Feeling that maybe you wish something would happen, and not in a necessarily negative way, just wish that maybe a travesty would happen and they would come and like be there for you like directly. But of course that's just kind of like a fantasy, just like, you know, maybe if this were to happen he'd be here, maybe, you know, thinking of all the different scenarios that you could think of just so that you could get them to come over and be with you. She then goes on to say the chorus a lot, and I really like how towards the end most of the instruments kind of die off and you just hear her voice, and I think that's very powerful, especially towards the end of the song. And especially when it kind of sounds like at the end she's kind of spiraling, being, but what can I do? Like, what can I do but think of you? What can I do but think of you? I think it really shows the emotional turmoil a little bit, and I think it does a really, really good job at depicting it by showing the song kind of like ending in this way. I really like this song. It's definitely another one that's high up there for me. Okay, so the next song is You Plus Me Equals Heart, or in this case, Heart Forever. This is the first song that I feel didn't hit for me necessarily. I think, don't get me wrong, it's still, I can groove to it, but there's something about the pacing that it just seems off to me. I don't know, let me know what you guys think, but for some reason the pacing just seems a little off. But that might just be a me thing. The song discusses, you know, just her talking about her being in love still with this person. She discusses, you know, all her girlfriends roll their eyes at them and talks about how she should maybe take things slow with this person. And she talks about the person's big sister, goes into discussing how she's trying to win this person's family over, trying to, you know, get in good. And, you know, I think everybody can relate to that feeling, you know, wanting your partner's family to accept you and to love you, or to at least maybe even just laugh at a joke or two that you tell, you know? She then starts to talk about her person buying her materialistic things, like, so buy me silver jewelry and all my favorite Cadbury, and tell me again what you first thought when you saw me, and things like that, which me as a person that doesn't really kind of take kindly to gifts, I couldn't really relate. But to the discussing about the first time you saw your person and, you know, thinking about what it was and what maybe they thought of you and wanting to hear it over and over and over again, I can definitely relate to late night talks, talking with your person. The song wasn't really a hitter for me. Still good message, but just not as hard-hitting and as meaningful to me than other people. But let me know what you guys think about this song. Next track is My Way. This song, chef's kiss. This song right here is amazing. It's a crazy bitch anthem. And don't take that as a drag. It's not. This is a banger because I think a lot of people can relate to other people trying to get at a person that is clearly taken, and you want to fucking go crazy and maybe rip some bitches' throats. Anyways, I love this song. I love the pacing in this song. One, it's very fast, very quick. I love it because it makes the message even more and even amplifies it and makes it so much more hard-hitting that it don't even get me. Okay, we're gonna get to the bridge. Anyways, I really love the line, but you linger in the air just like a bad perfume. It's getting to me, embarrassingly. I'm gonna just leave that line there to speak for itself. I think a lot of people in this world can relate to maybe knowing someone that can make them feel this way, or maybe if I read that line and a person popped up in your head. But I love the way she delivers it too. Of course, the song's theme being wanting a person to stop coming for, a person that you are clearly with. I love the line in the chorus, kind of insane how you keep calling, but you never get the message. Not necessarily for and because of the words, but because I love the way she delivers it. I love how she goes high when she says message. You can hear the sharpness in her voice. I think that is chef's kiss. I love hearing Olivia's songs like these. I think she should make more of these very hard-hitting feminine power anthems. I really love this side of her. I adore this bridge. This bridge is amazing. I love how fast it is, how she kind of gets frustrated at the end of it. This is a song that you can definitely feel the passion, feel the rage, feel the frustration. I'm just gonna read off the bridge. So where'd you get that confidence from? Last time that I checked, I won. Let me be direct, just stop. You're being fucking weird. I love that line. I think it hits so hard. The way she delivers it, the music stop. I think it's great. I think the way she ends the song too as well is very good. Just saying, it goes my way. You keep calling, but you're never gonna get the message. And then kind of ending with the taunting, I think it's so well done. So well done. Next song is called Purple. This is another one that didn't really quite hit me as hard. I think this song is showing her settling in with this person, being with this person, loving their lives together, saying that one's blue, one's red, together we make purple, we want to melt together, and talks a lot about settling into life together, doing things together, how things double around them because there's now two of them, and how life feels just about the two of them, which is it's a nice feeling to have, feeling that your person is there with you right there. We then see a tone change kind of in the song though towards the end, talking about how throughout the normal chorus she says, and I melt with you, you're red and I'm blue, now I see the world in purple. The only issue I kind of have with this, and it's kind of just me being nitpicky, is I wish people would choose other colors to relate to. We hear a lot of reds, purples, blues, but we never hear about greens or yellows or oranges. Orange is my least favorite color. But we never hear about kind of like those burn colors. We mostly hear about the cooler colors. But that's mostly just me being nitpicky. A lot of people, discuss you're blue, you're red, I'm gonna kiss you on your neck till you're purple all over, things like that, which Olivia, I just put two and together. She kind of, I feel like maybe refers to that in the song because she talks about, getting kisses on her neck, things in those nature. But back to what I was saying, I'm sorry. In the chorus, she says, and I melt with you, you're red and my blue, now I see the world in purple. And then she keeps saying the chorus, and then it's suddenly the music shifts a little bit, and then she says, melt with you till it all turns black. Are we so in love? Are we too attached? Melt with you till it all turns black. When you smooth it out, but it feels so flat. I think the line, but it feels too flat, is referencing to Maggots for Brains, where she's saying, colors feel flat when you're not around, but now he is around and everything starting to feel too flat. Maybe I think the song is, like I said, it's more about like settling in with this person and really like getting to know this person and seeing that maybe things aren't what they seemed at the beginning, And then of course the last line, melt with you till I just feel sad. Drowning herself in this person to where she eventually, probably just feels like maybe she's losing herself in this person a little too much, and that now she's not left with the happiness that they once brought her, but just feeling kind of sad with herself. The song's okay. I love the tone shift. She does it pretty seamlessly, but it just wasn't one that really hit for me. The next song is The Cure, and this was the second single release for this album. I've had some time to sit with the song, and I've had to wrestle with it a couple times. I don't really care for it. I really love the chorus though. I think the chorus is really good. I just really feel like it would have fit better in Maggots for Brains just because of the theming. Because it seems like she kind of wrestles with her thoughts a lot, which maybe this was the intention, because if it was, then maybe we'd be having a different story right now. But talking about I thought I found the antidote this time. All the nights I spend fighting bad thoughts in my room, feeling so alone, might as well be on the moon. Maybe this person isn't there for her like she thought they would be. Maybe she gets left alone a lot. But as we go deeper into the chorus, I got toxins in my bloodstream, you tried hard to suck them out, and it feels like medication, and it's good for me, I'm sure, but it doesn't matter how your love feels anymore. It'll never be the cure. Now that I'm saying them out loud, it's probably talking about how this person's trying to fix her in a way, and maybe just knowing she knows deep down that another person isn't going to be the cure. Like, they're not going to be able to help her. She has to help her. So maybe that's the aim. But then she brings up, you know, I used to play a game in my head when I'd date a guy, tally up the girls that he fucked till I cry, and still saying that she's unraveling. And so I don't really know if maybe the person did something to her, or if maybe she's just internally battling herself, because that's what the chorus says to me. But still, I don't know, this song still didn't really stick to me too much. I love the meaning, and I love the chorus. The chorus hits really hard, but it reminds me a lot of Maggots for Brains, so a part of me wishes the chorus, or even just the lines, were in, well, maybe not the lines, because I like this as a chorus. It's a really hard-hitting chorus, but maybe some of the straggler lines that kind of don't really make sense could have done without. The next song is called Begged, and again, I feel like this is where we're starting to really see the transition between falling in love, being in the relationship, and this song is one of the ones that I think is gonna inch closer to the end of the album, talking about after the relationship and the heartbreak and the sadness that comes after that. The song discusses feeling like your person is just kind of not there anymore. I feel like, honestly, she just wants to be by herself at this point, feeling like, you know, she's not going to be the one to leave. Like, she's an anchor. She's here. I love the chorus, but nothing's quite enough when I know that to get it, I begged. You know, feeling like maybe, you know, certain things in their relationship, you know, she had to beg for necessarily, and really, like, even though it's good that this person is now doing things, maybe loving her in a better love language, or maybe like actually listening to her, like just things that you have to kind of beg your partner to do, you know. Of course, when they do it, it's not going to feel genuine, or maybe it's not going to hit as hard because, you know, you had to ask them like to do it, and maybe sometimes they're like begrudgingly doing it just because you want them to do it. So obviously that doesn't feel very good, which can be a relatable feeling to most. She also discusses though how she knows she's not going anywhere, and that she's waiting for her luck to change, and that she's kind of just like waiting out the waves of what they're going through, kind of maybe still holding on to hope. I don't know if this is really anything worth noting, but I really love the way she pronounces the word begged when she sings it. I think it's very good the way she ends it with the beat begged. Like, I think her pronunciation on a lot of words are really, really nice, and I think that adds a lot to the chorus. I don't really have a lot to talk about with this song. I think it's very pretty, but definitely still not one of my faves on the album. This next song is called What's Wrong With Me, and it's featuring Robert Smith, who is a co-founder, singer, guitarist for The Cure. I love The Cure, but let's keep this to Olivia. The song discusses how there's, you know, something wrong with her. She's having symptoms. Maybe she's sick, maybe she's spiraling. But she talks about her feelings and, you know, eventually comes to a conclusion. I think you're what's wrong with me, you know, the person that she's with. How she's, you know, looking for distractions to feel better, and starting to, you know, trying to medicate with a bottle of wine, and looking for other things to kind of numb herself. And of course, Robert Smith has a verse. I kind of don't like their voices together, I'm gonna be honest, I love Robert, I love Olivia, but I think, especially like their voices together, I just don't think they mix very well, if I'm being honest. They both have different styles of singing, I feel like, and I feel like them trying to put him as kind of like an echo to her voice just doesn't match very well. I don't know, and let me know what you guys think about their collaboration. You know, I think of a lot of people can relate to what she's trying to discuss in it, and I think that a lot of people can know when, you know, maybe someone that you're not even necessarily with, but somebody that might just, even a friend or a family member, that can make you feel so low. And finally coming to the conclusion that this person is maybe the root of your problems, or maybe just the cause of a lot of frustrations or emotions that you go through in your life, or maybe just troubles that you go through in your life. So I think a lot of people can relate to that. So I think the song definitely does the job. I would say this is the only feature on the album, but I've heard that Conan Gray sung background and helped write Honeybee, which makes a lot of sense why that's one of my favorite songs. I love Conan Gray. I think he's amazing. But besides Conan, Robert Smith is the only artist that is featured on this album. Okay, so the next song is Less. The song is very pretty. I will say it's very reminiscent to me, at least, of Leve. The piano gives me Leve vibes, and even the singing, I love when Olivia sings. She sings very well and very soft, which I am a sucker for. So the song obviously is talking about how she was just wishing and wishing and wishing their problems would fix themselves, saying that this person seems like they're not meaning to hurt her, or maybe meaning to like not be there, and how they've tried to recreate their favorite date, and they've tried to kind of, you know, make this spark kind of come back, I think. But she's saying that, you know, if this leads to me crying on the curve at LAX, then I wish that you loved me less. Olivia does outros really good, but I really love this outro. If loving me means saying, babe, I think this is the end, well, I guess I wish you loved me less. Sorry. It really hits because, you know, I feel like a lot of people can relate to feeling, you know, the need for, you know, the person to come to you and maybe say, you know, like, maybe this is done, like, and then hearing that come out of a person's mouth, I bet is very jarring and very hurtful to hear. But at the same time, maybe it's gonna give her relief, you know, not having this person be in her life anymore. Like, of course she's gonna maybe have to pick herself up again, but maybe for the best, like she said, that maybe it's just best that they break apart. And so I think this is where maybe we see the breakup in the album. So we're coming towards like the conclusion, I guess, of this little story that we went on. But yeah, I really like this song. I think it's very pretty. Next song is Expectations. This one is a more high energy type of one where I think she maybe got out of this relationship and now she's looking for maybe something a little funner, maybe a little less serious, and also at the same time still talking about how she has higher expectations. I think this song is mostly just about having a little bit of fun. She talks about these men that she's interacting with being so desperate for love, and she's like, well, I'm not, so pass. Or just like maybe thinking that, oh, well, they'll get their heart broken, but because I'm not, it's okay. And so, but I think this is normal. I think it's a normal thing to feel this way probably after a relationship, especially one where you were like needing to maybe get out of it, where you just want to have fun and live a little. I love the funny, this line kind of just makes me giggle every time I hear it, but she's just like, don't think my future husband's at this bar in Silver Lake. Like, like she knows, like she already knows, like she's not gonna put her heart into somebody this deep this time. But I love how she can kind of just like point fun at the, you know, logistics of her maybe finding love in this bar, but hey, you never know. I love kind of the bridge where she just keeps saying, I've got real big expectations, I've got big expectations, over and over, and it kind of goes kind of deeper into like this reverb, and then it comes back out again into the chorus again, kind of. And I really like that. I think it's really cool. But yeah, I think it's a fun, hard-hitting song. I could definitely see myself dancing to it, like, but I think that's about where it ends for me. I think it's just a fun song that you can dance to, because I could definitely see myself probably jumping up and down to this song just out of nowhere, being fun if I hear it. Okay, so last song. This one is called Cigarette Smoke. Ooh, my fault, but Circle, sponsor me. So this song, I think it wraps up the album pretty well, to be honest. I think the song really goes into discussing the reason why her and this person aren't together anymore. She talks about how much she regrets how long she stayed with this person and resents this person for not being brave enough to kind of end things. And then she wants this person to tell her something honest so that these fond memories that she has with this person probably can go dark, and that so she can completely like break off with only holding negative feelings towards this person so that she's not always holding on to the memories with this person. I'm sorry if I say with this person too much. I feel like I've said that a lot this video. So she also talks about how she just felt so lonely, how she thought that they played the perfect couple until he didn't want the part. And then as a little jab, she says, but it's better than begging for you to stand up for me, honeybee. Which is a nod to, of course, one of the earlier songs in the album. So it is definitely about the same person, which I kind of like that confirmation. And then slowly the song fades into tell me something honest so that the memories turn dark. Oh, the memories go dark, the memories go dark. She continues to repeat it until it's just going dark. And then of course the song slows and we fade into the end of the album. Overall, the song is good, but to me, it's just not another one that really stuck. But again, I understand why people may relate to this song, you know. I really love the entire roller coaster of the album, because I'm gonna be honest, it does kind of feel like a roller coaster, but I like it. I think it adds so much story to the album and so much story to every song, especially because I feel like she alludes to a lot of songs that were like earlier in the album. I love how we see this relationship blossom and bloom and form, and then we see it kind of wilt and die off. We'll definitely say that the first part of the album had a lot of hitters for me. I'm not gonna say that the rest of the album doesn't, but it just kind of died off a little bit for me. They just all weren't my cup of tea, and that's fine. But I still really love the aesthetics of the album. Love most of the songs. I could probably, you know, really get down to any of them. Not saying I necessarily hate one. But yeah, that is the end of the album. Overall, I really like it. I'm not saying it's terrible. I honestly probably like this more than Guts, but it's because I just love the aesthetic of this one a whole lot more. I feel like it's more breezy. I feel like it's, like I said, movement and kind of, I feel like it's going through the motions. It's a really good album to sit and listen to like as a whole. So here is my final ranking of everything. Please let me know your guys' favorite song, or maybe leave your entire ranking list down below. Let's have a conversation about it. Again, I just want to say thank you if you watched the entire video. I really appreciate your support. Leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. And again, also just a disclaimer, these are all my opinions. Of course, have your own. Let's have a conversation. I love to talk about music. It's really my world. So let me know what you guys think in the comments and let's have a discussion. Okay guys, I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.